Let me just say it. There was a point, a very real point, where I almost regretted buying my Sony FX30. I know, blasphemy, right? This is supposed to be one of the best cinema cameras for the price, a compact powerhouse, and it is. But I was on a client shoot, a simple 2-camera interview, and I needed to make a quick color adjustment, and I just froze. And my mind went blank. I was frantically swiping through that endless grid of menus, my thumb hitting the wrong icons, my heart rate climbing as everyone in the room just stared. I could feel the entire shoot's momentum grinding to a halt, all because of me. In that moment of pure frustration, fumbling with a camera that was supposed to make my life easier, I wasn't thinking about 4K 120 frames per second or dual native ISO. I was just thinking that this incredibly powerful tool felt more like an obstacle. I was wasting time, I looked unprofessional, and I was fighting my camera instead of filming. The problem ran so deep, I almost gave up on the process entirely. Hey, if you like this type of content, please subscribe to the channel, leave a comment below. It means a lot to me. And I want to give a special thank you to everyone who subscribed to the channel and everyone who's watching. You're the best. Now, I know I'm not alone in this. The FX30's sheer power is a double-edged sword. It has all these pro features, which is why we bought it, and they're buried in a complex, multi-layer menu system that can feel like a maze. You've got the main swipe menu, the deeper shooting menu, the setup menu, and the network menu. It's endless. You know the setting you need is in there somewhere, but where? Is picture profile under color and tone, or image quality? Where on earth is the option to format your media card? It's something you have to do before every single shoot, yet it feels like it's hidden in a secret chamber you need a special key to unlock. Before I figured this out, a simple task was a whole ordeal that pulled me completely out of my creative headspace. I'd have to dive into the menus, find the right settings, etc. It was a clumsy, slow, and a guaranteed way to miss a spontaneous moment on a shoot. This camera is packed with incredible features, but getting to them felt like a chore. And really, the frustration was quite real, and it was making my whole experience worse. And then I found the secret. It was staring me in the face the whole time. Right at the top of the menu system, that little star icon called My Menu. Like a lot of people, I completely ignored it. I just figured it was a place to stash a few settings. I could not have been more wrong. This isn't just a simple favorites list. My Menu is a completely blank, customizable command center for your entire camera. And here's the trick, the part most people miss. Unlike the limited physical custom buttons, you can add almost anything from the deepest, most obscure corner of the FX30's menu system into this one easy to access place. This was my aha moment. I realized I didn't have to learn Sony's entire menu structure. I could build my own. I could grab all of my critical, most used functions and put them in just one button press away. It was the key to taming this beast and making my camera truly mine. So what do you put in this magical time-saving menu? The beauty of that, it's completely personal to your workflow. But after hundreds of hours using this camera, I've refined my menu into a command center that covers 90% of what I need. I break it all down into a few logical groups. So this is what it's like inside the Sony FX30. First, and most importantly, exposure and color. The absolute first thing I added was log shooting setting. This lets me instantly switch between Cine EI, flexible ISO, or just turn log off completely. If I'm in a spot where I need to hand off a clip with a standard look, I can switch out of S-Log in 2 seconds, not 20. Right below that, I have select LUT. If I'm shooting an S-Log3, I need to see a corrected image to judge my exposure, and I often switch between standard Rec 709 LUT and a more stylized one to show a client what the final image might feel like. Having this in my menu means I can toggle LUTs or switch between them without ever leaving my menu screen. Now, just a quick side note, some of these can easily be found in the regular standard Sony menu. So I use a combination of three: the standard menu, my menu for the more complicated things, and then some of the custom buttons that I'm going to talk about in just a minute. Next up is the base ISO switch. When shooting in Cine EI mode, the FX30 has two native base ISOs for the cleanest image, 800 and 2500. Instead of digging into the exposure menu, I switch between them based on my lighting. I can do it instantly from my menu. This is absolutely vital for maintaining maximum image quality. Finally, in this category, I have manual white balance. Auto white balance is getting better, but for professional consistent results, you have to set it manually. Having that setting right here is a non-negotiable for me. My second category is recording and media. The very first item is file format. This is where you choose your codec, like XAVC-S1, 4K, or HD. This, combined with the next item, record frame rate, is my one-click solution for changing frame rates. I also can jump into the main menu if I want to change them from that point too. Either way works very easily for me, depending on where I'm at in my menu. I can also jump from 24p to 120p in a heartbeat. Another way that you can do this is by switching S&Q mode in the function dial. I also keep shutter angle here. Using shutter angle instead of shutter speed means that when I change my frame rate, the camera automatically adjusts the shutter to maintain perfect motion blur. A huge time saver for me. And of course, format media is right here too. No more frantic searching before a shoot. It's here, it's safe, and it's fast. My third category is for monitoring and display. The number one item is monitor brightness. This is essential. When you move from a dark interior to a bright sunny day, the screen needs to boost to sunny weather mode in order to be visible. Having this in my menu stops me from having to guess exposure. I also have peaking display and peaking color. So I have all my peaking settings right there too. I'm constantly toggling focus peaking on and off to check for critical focus, and sometimes I need to change the color from red to yellow to blue depending on what I'm shooting in the background. The last thing here is Gamma Display Assist, which is another way to view your log footage with a basic correction if you're not using a LUT. Building this menu took me maybe an hour, but the time it has saved me on set is immeasurable. It's the difference between confidence and panic. Now stay tuned, because in just a second, I'm also going to tell you where I put peaking display in my custom button settings, which I have a cheat sheet linked down below in the description. All right, so my menu is your headquarters, but you still need your frontline soldiers for those quick muscle memory things and things that you switch on and off on the fly. That's where custom buttons comes in. So I'm going to show you how I have my Sony FX30 set up. There's a cheat sheet, again, linked down below in the description. You can download that. And the first one is right here. We've got this focus magnifier button. I have this set to manual focus, so you can see it toggles from autofocus to manual focus. So I can put it on manual focus, I can focus, then I can come back. If I want autofocus, just hit that. Just a quick switch back and forth. The second thing is my creative style. So my creative style right here is this center button. So when I hit that, I can go between these creative profiles. You got vivid, you got movie, you got film look. A couple cool things about the Sony FX30, a couple different looks. And then the third one is the peaking color. So if I want to switch peaking color, I can switch from red. I can come over here. I can switch yellow. I can do blue, I can do white. So having these couple things that you set up in your menu so that you're always like able to switch back and forth on the fly, super important. So just something I wanted to throw in there. And again, you can download the cheat sheet to set this up in the description below. The magic happens when you bring these two together. My menu is for the critical settings that I need a few times per shoot. Custom buttons are for instant reflective actions that I use constantly. This two-part system gives me 90% of what I need to keep me out of the deep menus. And with that said, it's good to have a grasp on your menus, but don't forget about efficiency. This is the setup that has completely transformed my experience with the Sony FX30, turning it from a source of frustration into a seamless extension of my creativity. But the best setup is always going to be the one that's built for you. So I'm genuinely curious, what are the settings that you can't live without? What would you put in your My Menu? Or what's a custom button mapping that you've discovered that has saved you time on set? Drop a comment below and let's build the ultimate FX30 setup guide together right here in the comments. You know, looking back at that moment of panic on set, fumbling through the menus, it feels like a different lifetime. The difference between then and now is night and day. Before, I was hesitant, nervous, and constantly distracted by the camera's complexity. Now I can walk onto set in any lighting and know that every critical function that I need is just a couple button presses away. I'm not thinking about the camera anymore, I'm thinking about the story, the composition, and the performance. The FX30 is an unbelievable piece of technology. But just owning a powerful tool isn't enough. You have to make it an extension of yourself. Taking 1 hour to really customize your My Menu and your custom buttons will pay you back on every single shoot from here on out. You'll be faster, more confident, and ultimately more creative. You'll stop fighting your camera and finally start making it work for you. I look forward to seeing you in the next video.